The 30th of May 2022 was my first upload here on YouTube, and 3 years and a few days later, I'm still here uploading with over 13,000 subscribers. So thank you very much for watching, and thank you very much for subscribing, everyone who has. We've done a couple of these in the last few months, little Q&A sort of, just me talking to the camera sort of videos, and I really enjoy them, and I know the people that post the questions and people who watch them really enjoy them too. So here we go. We're going to go answer a few questions that I put on a post. I put a post up a few days ago, and I'm just going to answer a few of those questions for you all. So the first question is from Wazza Gamer HD. Hey Jay, been an incredibly long time since I last left a comment. Hope all is well with you and the family. Yes, it is, Wazza. Thank you very much. New family is doing great. My question would probably be, oh, so you're not sure if this is your question, but you've asked it anyway, so this is your question. My question definitely would be, would you ever consider doing some simulations and maybe even a save on a retro FM? Like, I know we have all the cool databases for the current game, but seeing how some of the failed Wonder Kids and clubs have fallen or risen in recent years would fare in a completely different landscape would be cool to watch, in my opinion. Right, okay, yeah, that's a good question. The answer is that is no. To be perfectly honest, it's absolutely not. No, to tell you for why. I don't have a lot of the old football managers. I have played many football managers over the years, and I don't know when it moved from CD to Steam. I don't know when it moved from like a disc format to actual just downloads from Steam. I can't remember that. But that was back when I had an old email address, and then I had a bit of a sort of, and then I had that Steam account. I had the same Steam account that was just automatically sort of logged in over on this PC that I had, and the PC was just dying. And when I got a new PC, FM22, I think was the first one I was actually uploading from. I think I got a load of new gear because I wanted to start doing it. And I needed to upgrade my computer for like gaming and stuff anyway, so it wasn't really a big thing. Not only because I'd merged away from that email address as well. So that old email address was just used for some generic old rubbish that I didn't really ever use anymore. It was just like classic old Hotmail, and I'd moved everything over to Gmail in the last like 10 years, 15 years. But still, things were still sort of attributed to the old Hotmail email. Anyway, long story short is I had to create a completely new Steam account, which meant all of the games and all of the things that were sort of in my library lost forever. Because I couldn't remember the password to the email address or Steam. So I had to make a new Steam account. So the first FM that I've got, I think, is FM22, which is what I started doing experiments on anyway. So would I do any on the old retro? They're not that retro, and I've been doing experiments on all the FMs that I've got. So yeah, unfortunately, the answer to that would be no. Would I be interested in doing it if I had the opportunity to get them? Because you can't retroactively go and buy them. I haven't got a disk drive in this computer. If I can find one in a CEX or anything. Probably not. I don't know if the demand would be there to watch. To be honest, maybe it would. I don't know. I would say never say never, but I don't do experiments on the retro databases. I do simulations and stuff with them, but I don't do loads of stuff on the retro things on this. I mean, I've got loads of retro databases that I still need to sort of get through because I do enjoy looking at them and do enjoy the simulations and stuff. But yeah, no. Killing Duffy has asked, what are your favourite types of videos to make? At the moment, it's Wonder Kid Wheels. The Wonder Kid Wheel videos are my favourite types to make. I really enjoy them. I think the journey we go on as a team, where we take the team of other verses, where it's competitive sort of nature, really do enjoy them. I do enjoy like just general Let's Plays as well, like the Fresh Prince of West Yorkshire save. Even though I've still not finished it on the channel, I do enjoy it. But they have a hell of a lot of work to edit and make. So, like, I mean, they're all the videos are a lot of work to make, but it's just a different beast, really. And I think the most fun I have, and the biggest payoff that I have, really, is the Wonder Kid Wheel ones. I really do enjoy them. So at the moment, it's Wonder Kid Wheels, but I have more videos coming that might sort of supersede that in the future. Killing Duffy again. Oh, he's back with a second. How many chicken wings do you think you could eat in one sitting? I don't know. What kind are they? Are they like little KFC hot wings? Are they just like barbecue chicken wings, hot and spicy? I mean, not many. I'm not, I don't know, 10, 15, 20. I don't know. Depends how big they are. Some chicken wings can be quite big, quite beasty, can't they? So, don't know. I honestly don't know. But yeah, he's back again. Keelan Duffy's... I'm just looking up at these comments here. Keelan Duffy is absolutely littered it here. So it's the Keelan Duffy show, ladies and gentlemen, for now. What's your favourite Harry Potter character? Hands down, it's Ron. Ron is the best Harry Potter character by a considerable mile. He's absolutely brilliant. He... not only is he good in the films, and he's always overshadowed by Harry, so I always feel a bit sorry for him. In the books, he is phenomenal. Absolutely amazing. So funny. You've got Bants for days. Yeah, so it's got to be Ron. Which Premier League manager do you think would win in an all-out fight to the death? Oh, it's a question, isn't it? Is Sean Dyche still a manager? I mean, it's Sean Dyche, isn't it? Sean Dyche could handle himself. List of Premier League managers. Let's have a look. List of current Premier League. Here we go. Premier League managers. Right, here we go. We've got the Premier League managers. We've got Eddie Howe, Mikel Arteta, Pep. I mean, tactically, I think Pep might have the edge. He'd have a great strategy, wouldn't he? Ange's still there. This is a bit out of date. Right, list of current Premier League and English football managers. Right, Premier League. Right, Pep, Mikel, Marco Silva, Eddie Howe, Emery, Iraola, Daniel Farke, Santo, Glasner. I mean, Glasner looks hard, doesn't he? Yeah, I think Glasner would be quite hard. Onslaught, Maresca, Scott Parker as well. Feisty one, isn't he? He was a bit, he had a mean streak as a player, didn't he? So, I mean, yeah, so Sean Dyche isn't there, so I'm probably going to go with Glasner. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Kieran Duffy again. He's back again. What's your favourite part of Buxton? I mean, this is going to be so niche that I don't think anyone is going to know Buxton. It's the sledging slope behind the school, because it had everything. Like the fields behind our school. Like, you'd go and play football there all the time when it was nice weather. But the sledging slope, big hill, snow day at school. Go home, get your sledge, go back up to school. Basically, the entire school would be up there on the sledging slope. It'd just be absolute chaos. It'd be brilliant. Now we've got someone else now. We've got Adam Aiken, who is back from last time. Would you ever put out videos of a different game? Absolutely. That's the plan as well. I'll probably have a second channel, but this will be just primarily an FM channel. I'll probably put because I'm going to start streaming. I am going to start streaming, which will again start off being just FM, because it's what I know and it's what I mainly love, and it's what the audience that I've built so far expect to come and watch. So I will just be sticking with FM to begin with, but I will mix it up and start interspersing some other games in there. Maybe some like little polls that we'll do on Twitch and stuff, and we'll go check out some different games, and then I might trim them down and put them out on a second channel, or just put the streams up as VODs on another channel. I'm not too sure exactly how that's going to look at the moment, but yes, would I ever put videos out of a different game? Absolutely, and that is the plan. Because can't do FM24 forever. We don't know if there's going to be an FM26, do we? Because they've not said in anything. We can but hope. Adam Aiken's back again. Another one from Adam Aiken. Your personal favourite video that you've done? Well, what a loaded question this is. Honestly, I don't know. I think, what is my favourite video? I mean, my Sunderland series, my first series, was easily my favourite save that I've ever had on Football Manager. I think I answered that last time. Video, there's a few that sort of spring to mind. I'm going to take you back. I'm going to actually jump onto my analytics here. So this video was from before I was monetized, and this is since published. So if we look at the custom date, so it went up on the 5th of January, and I'm going to just do a month. Oh no, 5th of Jan, the 5th of Feb. Now, typically, a video for me in the first days would get 100 to 200 views about this point for an experiment. And there you go. The first day, 92 views. The second day, 876. And I was like, oh my God, this video's popping off. It was already about 1,000 views inside 48 hours. Which, bear in mind, at the time, for my channel, this was like maybe my third video to ever hit 1,000 views. So I was like, this is insane. The day after, and bear in mind, I hit 200 subscribers during this video. This day, bang, 6,000 views. I was barely hitting 6,000 views a month at this point, and I got 6,000 views in a day on a Saturday. Subscribers were flying up. 235 subscribers from this video alone in this calendar month. Unbelievable. And it just elevated my channel, and then a few other videos subsequently did a few things. I mean, look at the thumbnail. The thumbnail is absolutely fucking horrific, isn't it? Look at the state of that. Look how busy it is. Big Football Manager logo, me looking inquisitive. You've got two regen faces that look shit. You've got two different fonts in yellow. It's absolutely horrendous, isn't it? But you live and learn, don't you? I mean, look, at the end of the day, it got people clicking on it. I mean, but it had no right to, did it? But it did really well. And some other videos from that did really well. Another one that going to get honourable mention is this one, the perfect column. The perfect column, because I got 22,000 views. And this is the video that I went up at the end of Jan. And these videos here that were sort of doing pretty well with these experiments. I mean, look, you can see here 1,600 views, 1,300 views. That was these were elevated view counts for some of my experiments. I got a 10,000 one here for determination. Same thumbnail design, because it obviously worked on the other one, didn't it? I was like, I've made it. I've nailed it for thumbnail design. Embarrassing, isn't it? But yeah, the next video, can Argentina win the Premier League? Bear in mind, they just won the World Cup in Qatar, so I put them in the Premier League. 599 views. I thought that was a better concept of a video. So it just shows what you know, really, doesn't it? Anyway, it got me monetized. That got me to over 1,000 subscribers. And the watch hours and stuff. So yeah, that is what I would say is probably my favorite video ever, just because of how well it did. But then another video that I did, which in terms of concept and which I really liked the idea of, was the Clone Wars that I did, where I basically took the best 20 players on Football Manager, cloned them as an entire squad, and put them at each Premier League squad, and just let them sort of duke it out. So you had a full team of Harry Kanes, full team of Virgil van Dijks, and we did a Wonder Kid Wheel sort of style random generator to see who went where. Harry Kane went to Arsenal, Mo Salah was at bloody United, Virgil van Dijk went to Everton. So there was some serious sort of bits of drama in that there. So that was a really enjoyable video. I really enjoyed that one, but that didn't do very well, unfortunately. I thought it'd do a lot better than it did, but you know, is what it is. It didn't. And again, another favourite of mine, which is sort of up there, is the first ever Wonder Kid Wheel that I did, because I was saving them back for FM25, because I had the idea and the concept in mind. I thought, I'm going to wait till FM25 to drop. Then when it got delayed, I thought, right, let's go with it. And did Everton, and that flew. It did absolutely brilliantly, and it set the tone for the series as a whole and what the series was. And it became a staple for the channel that is possibly the most popular little series of experiment things that I do on the channel. Like, everyone loves the Wonder Kid Wheels, and we are evolving it as we go, and I'm always taking on suggestions, and people are very interactive in them. So that was a gamble, that was a risk, and there was a lot of work to go into a video. It was a very long video as well. I think it was the first video that I'd ever put that wasn't a compilation that was over an hour. It was nearly an hour. I was like, this is probably going to tank. But I really enjoyed making it, so it's not the end of the world. I'm not all about the views, because like, this video is not going to do many views at all. But it's about enjoyment of what you do as a creator, and I enjoyed making that Wonder Kid Wheel, so I was really happy with it when it turned out. And then when it did really well, it's just like the cherry on top of the cake, really. And that's now set the tone for me to be able to go and create more of those type of videos, because it's worth my time. Because whilst, yes, I'd say I'm not all about the views do bring more eyes to the channel, and do add an element of enjoyment for me, because it allows me to then potentially earn a bit more money from things. And now that is my technically full-time gig now, because I jacked my job in to go to be basically a full-time dad for a year. I'm now focusing on the channel, and then I'm going to start streaming in my sort of free time to try and funnel that into an actual career. You know, will it happen within the year? Probably not. I'm probably going to go back to work, but look, we can but try, can't we? So when these videos do well, it means a lot, and it means I can go on and create more of them. And if I really enjoy making them, it's a bonus. So yeah. Adam Aiken again. Wow. So Keelan Duffy and Adam Aiken have really held things up here in terms of the questions. Your favourite FM series or video by another YouTuber? Okay. So I'll answer them both, because the series is a little bit more of a tricky one. I think I will say, there's a lot of good series. I'm going to go do a little shout out, an honourable mention to a few series in a minute. The current, the Amiga Luke and Amiga Dad sort of videos that they're doing, where they compete like their Glory Hunters and their Race to the Prems and all that, they're brilliant. Tom FM had a couple in the last year, like where he like his Glory Hunter challenge, and those, again, brilliant. Love them. I do like Amiga Luke with his Youth to Gold series as well. Shout out to Work the Space, of course. Park to Prem. That was possibly my intro into FM series on YouTube. Shortly followed by Dr. Benji. We'll get on to Dr. Benji in a second. But I loved the Park to Prems. And I don't know which year it was, but his best one for me was David Gold. 5 finishing. I think he ended up at Palace. He moved around a few clubs, and I think he ended up at Palace. He had a Tycoon takeover in that one, if memory serves me correctly. I might be getting it wrong. But the favourite series on the whole of any FM series by another YouTuber is Dr. Benji, and it is the original Thames. His first Glory Hunter was great. shame his second Glory Hunter and subsequent Glory Hunters and that have not really hit. But his original Thames, the second Thames was great, but the original Thames was just a journey. And yeah, if you've not watched it, it stands up today. It's 100 plus episodes. It's in a playlist. Honestly, it's well worth your time. All the episodes are only about 10, 12, 13 minutes long. Incredible. Most people probably have seen it who are here on this channel, but if you haven't, Dr. Benji Thames series, hands down the best. But my favourite video by another YouTuber. Now again, I'm gonna go and check this out. So I don't know how many views it's got, but let me tell you now, the amount of views it's got is criminally criminally underviewed. There it is. Second yellow card made the Premier League years on Football Manager. Now, this was a masterpiece. He's had 55,000 views. I have got a couple of videos that have got more views than that, and I'm embarrassed by that, because this is absolute perfection. If you ever watched the Premier League years growing up, which I did, this hits in every way possible. This deserves, 10 times the amount of views, over 500,000 views, I would still say is underviewed. It is absolutely phenomenal. I can't say enough good things about it. And you know what? I'm going to go and watch it again. I've watched it 3 or 4 times. It's unbelievable. I'm not going to give you any spoilers, but if you haven't seen it, he sets it out exactly like a Premier League years episode from Sky Sports. So where it flitters away and does news articles, music of the time and stuff like that, he intersperses those kind of things in. Of course, they're all fictional because he's simulated forward. It's like 2047 or something, or 2048, 49. It's the late 2040s, I think. And he's made up these stories and music artists and stuff like that, which are brilliant. It really does. It just knits everything together perfectly. He's got some other creators in to do some commentary on some of the games. He's even got that little graphics that come up with the scores, a bit like they did on Premier League years. It's just a complete work of art, and it deserves so much love. So I would urge anyone, if you haven't got an hour and a half, bear in mind, I was waiting for him to do this because he'd mentioned he was going to do this. I was waiting for this for weeks, months. And then when it came, it being an hour and a half long, I knew I didn't want to sit and watch that in dribs and drabs. I wanted to sit down and watch it in its entirety. So it took me about a week to get an hour and a half free. But I made the time, watched it, and it was unbelievable. Better than any film that you might go and watch. If you're into Football Manager content, even if you're not, actually, if you're not, you're going to be watching this Q&A from me. But if you are not, even if you're not into Football Manager content, it's just brilliant. Just the storytelling in it is just fantastic. So yeah, that's my favourite ever video on Football Manager, and the original Thames from Dr. Benji, favourite ever series. Bland Park has asked, how do you take your tea? Very simple, milk and 1 sugar. But I'm not a big tea drinker. I'm more of a coffee guy, to be perfectly honest. Although I do drink a lot of peppermint tea, green tea, and those kind of things. But in terms of general basic tea, my missus is more of a tea drinker. We drink Yorkshire tea in our house, and I don't mind a cup of tea. But if I'm going to make a brew, I'm usually going to make a coffee because I need the caffeine. And I prefer coffee as well. So on the whole, I will generally sort of do that. But that's how I take my tea. If milk, 1 sugar. Flan Park has also asked, what are some of your favourite non-football related games? Well, non-football related. So I thought I said non-football manager related then, or that's the way I interpreted the question. I've just been playing a bit of FC25 at the moment. I know that is football related. I've been playing the Beer Pro mode because I do enjoy that, and I downloaded it for about 13 quid the other day because I've not bought FC25 when it first came out, because I'm not spending all that money on a game that I'm barely going to play. I didn't have the time. When you've got young children and you're trying to do a channel as well as a full-time job, it's very difficult. So you have to be very picky and choosy about what games you get, because you're sinking time in. But favourite non-football related games, I'm a very big strategy or open world kind of gamer. So my favourite games are things like Horizon, The Witcher, Skyrim. Love all those. But then I love some strategy games like Age of Empires, XCOM, and that kind of genre of games. So yeah, you can usually find me playing one of those games. If I'm going to sink my teeth into something, I like to sink my teeth into something quite meaty. I did not long ago start playing the second Horizon game, Forbidden West. I was really enjoying that, and I downloaded the DLC for it. And again, time just got the better of me, and I ended up stopping playing halfway through. So I do want to play that again at some point. Probably play the first one as well, actually, because that was fantastic. But yeah, so those kind of games are my favourite non-football related games. But I'm open to trying anything. There's loads of games that sort of pique your interest. I'm not really into horror games. I don't really find them interesting because I'm not a big horror kind of guy. But again, The Last of Us is sort of horror adjacent, isn't it? A bit zombie-ish. Love those two games as well. Even though I got to the second one, near the end of the second one of that, and didn't finish it. That is my toxic trait. I will get stuck into a game and immerse myself and love it for weeks, playing it whenever I can, snatching time here and there, playing it, and get to about 80% of the way through the storyline, and then just sack it off. I do that so often. I did it with the first Horizon for about a year and a half. I don't know why. I don't know why I do it. And then when you come back to it, you're so out of practice of the game that you've been thrown at the deep end at the end where it's ramped up to its most difficult, and it's like, I can't cope with this. I've got to go back to the start. So yeah, that's one thing I do. I do end up sacking games off halfway through a playthrough. Still not finished Hogwarts Legacy either. Couldn't wait for that to come out and loved it. Absolutely loved the game. I'm about 40-50% of the way through, and I left it and I've just not gone back to it. So I need to go back to that at some point. Jamie Aubrey has asked, what are your thoughts on the yellow Crayola crayon? Or what have you found that sticks out the most and you just have a chuckle when you see it when doing the Wonder Kid wheels? My thoughts on the yellow Crayola crayon: inoffensive. I've not got any thoughts on it really. I wish I had something funny to say about it. I know. I think you're hoping that there's going to be some sort of witty retort to that. I've not even got a bad joke. I've got no joke whatsoever, sadly. So I'll answer the second one because that is a proper question. I obviously just try to stoke the fire and get a little bit of content out of me, Jamie. Unfortunately, I'm not feeling that creative with my humour this morning. What you found that sticks out the most, made you chuckle when doing Wonder Kid Wheels? It's all the names, isn't it? It's the names. One of the things that sticks out the most is Neil Harris. Neil Harris rocks up in these Wonder Kid Wheels, becomes the manager of these teams very often. Neil Harris is fast becoming Mr. Wonder Kid Wheel manager. So, I think that's quite interesting that just the things that happen that are quite consistent. Like Neil Harris has shown up in multiple. Some of the names, though, are great, aren't they? I love some of the names. Jean-Francois de Wolf was just epic. He played for Derby in the Derby Wonder Kid Wheel. I mean, things that stick out the most are some of the things that are most infuriating. The way sometimes teams don't play some of these players, and there's no sort of rhyme or reason why, or teams they just the way they get money in, they'll celebrate for 100 million, and then they won't reinvest it very well, or the club don't give it back to them to reinvest. That's infuriating. So we're doing what we can to try and elevate these teams, and they just get mugged off by the board and stuff. So that's what sticks out to me. And that doesn't really make me chuckle. That just makes me sort of despair, which I imagine makes you lot chuckle because it just is infuriating. But, it is what it is. Levi Charm has asked, how long, on average, does it take for you to put together a video for us? Filming, editing, thumbnails, etc. Okay, so this is just such a loaded question. This video, we won't count it because this video is going to be a half-hour sort of record. I put a post out. You guys are asking the questions. I'll record it and I'll just chop it up and pump it out and just do a thumbnail. This will be a couple of hours. An average video, I would say, probably takes me about 8 hours. I would probably say 2 hours setup with pre or in-game editor. Sometimes it's less, sometimes it's more. Then I'll just leave it simulating. So don't really have to do much of that. So that's just going on in the background. So don't count that. Then recording is usually about an hour and a half. Wonder Kid Wheels are usually 2 hours. Chop it all up. But then there's no setup for the Wonder Kid Wheel, but then there's a lot more in between, like, because I'm simulating and then I bugger off. So I record, like, I do the seasons, I record, pause it, go away while it simulates the next season, blah, 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 blah. And if you've watched them, you've probably known that because I forgot to record a couple of bits, so I've just had to sort of fill you in. So that takes a long time. They do. And they take a lot longer. They probably take north of 12 hours, just that. And then the editing of those. I usually, if a video takes an hour to record, I'll probably say it takes probably 2 to 2.5 hours to sort of edit all in. Sort of chop it all up, condense it down. Because I don't do that much graphics and that much fancy editing. It's more just sort of assembling it. So I probably need to spend a bit more time on the editing and make it look a little bit more polished and a little bit better. But so I'm not very good at editing, so I just sort of try and assemble and just do what I can. So yeah, probably 2-3 hours editing, thumbnails, anywhere between half an hour and an hour. When you think of the concept, I have a notepad or an Excel document that I make notes in as I go. And I'll usually try and think, usually when I've got an idea for a video, I'll usually try and think of a title and a thumbnail idea and concepts to begin with. And then once the video is recorded, that's when I'll make the thumbnail, because something might happen within the record of the video that I can sort of intersperse in, sort of like maybe do a tease or whatever, you know. So I'd say all in probably takes about 8 to 10 hours per video, some more, some less. So yeah, quite a long time, especially when I did have a full-time job. It was very difficult. But, you know, not sleeping helped for a year. George Fav has asked, I still watch your older days series. Haha, you're a legend, man. I mean, not a question, but thank you very much, George. Stroke my ego all you bloody want, gang, because I will sit here and read them comments out till the cows come home. What are your interests or hobbies outside of content creation? Do you know what? I spend pretty much all my time with my missus and kids. You know, I enjoy playing games. I enjoy watching TV, but I just enjoy just doing stuff with them. So whether we're going to like a soft play with a little lad, he's started a little football training, going swimming, you know, all that kind of stuff. I just love at the minute being a dad, and anything to do with being a dad, I love. Even getting up in the middle of the night, whilst it's hard, I love it, and I will miss it when it never happens. You know, when I've got a sleeping pattern back and they're not waking up in the night, there'll be part of me that'll look back to these days and miss it. I'm telling you now. So yeah, main hobbies is just doing stuff with my kids and missus, you know, going out for meals and stuff like that. So when we can, obviously time's not kind to us at the moment with two young ones, but yeah, no, we try and do stuff with them, like, you know, try and take them to the park and do things with them, try and get them out of that, you know, walking the dogs and stuff, you know, going out with them. They're also a priority in my life. So yeah, other than that, I've not really got so much time for many more hobbies, because I like to game and I like to play Football Manager, I like to do all these videos. So they're my main hobbies. And then, have you always played FM, or did you enjoy other games of a different genre? So, of course, I sort of answered that earlier about games I enjoy of different genres and other kinds of games I do enjoy. Have I always played FM? Yes, pretty much, on and off for 20 plus years. Champman 4 with the Mitre ball on. That was my first ever one where you could get Kaka for free in, I think, January, or like his contract was expired at like the 18th of December or something like, or 21st of December. You could get him. And I used to be Barcelona. I'd have Javier Saviola up front with Patrick Kluivert, Kaka in behind. Iniesta was coming through the youth academy then, and Xavi and all that. So yeah, I remember that was my introduction to Football Manager, Chapman 4, and I played Football Managers. Although I used to play a lot of LMA Manager as well back in the day. I used to love that. Adriano used to get really good on that. LMA 2002, I think it was. So I've always loved football management simulation games, and yeah, I've enjoyed loads of different games over the years. But yeah, I've played a lot of their Football Managers over the years. I've not. I wouldn't say I've bought every single one. I wouldn't say I've played every single one. I've probably had a few year hiatus. I'd probably say maybe from 2007, 2008 ish. That was probably my last one. Up until I don't know, maybe 2014, 2015. I think I ended up, because I went to university and I'd found I wasn't playing as many solo singular player games at university. I was playing a lot more stuff just with people like Worms with my housemates, as we were just chilling around and playing FIFA and all that. So playing Football Manager was just something I didn't really do. And I was just using my computer for uni work and that. So just didn't buy Football Manager for a few years. And then obviously think back to it, you miss it. Then I didn't have a PC for a while. Where was I? Because we just had a Double Trouble Punami disaster downstairs. So Missy just shouted me so I could just help out. Basically, yeah, I had a bit of a hiatus from FM, but obviously, once you play FM and you love FM, you always come back to FM. So, yeah, I came back to it and just flitted around for a few saves. Didn't play anywhere near as much as I do now, although I haven't played it as much in the last 18 months, even though it's been content I make. In terms of actually playing saves, I've probably played it a bit less. But, no, probably not, actually. I play it more now than I did before I made content, of course, but yeah. So it's just enjoyable, really. And then we've got another question from George as well. It's just all in the same sort of block. Are collabs with other YouTubers something you'd ever indulge in? Hope the family are all good, man. Keep up the hard work. Yeah, all good, man. Thank you very much. Yeah, absolutely. If there was something, if other YouTubers wanted to sort of get involved and do some sort of collab, I'd love to. I'd love to get out there and sort of do stuff with other creators and the like. So yeah, if there's ever an opportunity, I would certainly look into it and take it with both hands, to be perfectly honest, whether they're bigger or smaller, because I think cross promotion of channels and stuff is all very important. I think it'd be very good and very fun as well. We've added new dynamics to some of the things. I mean, I know one of the things that I'd really love to do would be Clates did this Wonder Kid sort of series where he started doing it. I think he did it with the Migaloo, kind of done it with Tom FM, and he might have mentioned doing it with others. I can't remember if he has. Where you start off with like 100 out of 200. You get given 30 attribute points, and then you get you then funnel them in, and then you simulate your careers, and you got like a lone move and stuff. I do that kind of stuff with just a player. I've done that kind of stuff with just players, just trying to win the Ballon d'Or and that. So that'd be a lot of fun. I'd find that to be a lot of fun. But other than that, yeah, it'd have to make sense. I think. I don't know. I wouldn't just force a collab. Like I wouldn't just shoehorn my way in and just be like, they'd be like, why is he here? It doesn't make sense for Jayhuahua to be there. But you know, I want to try and diversify the content I'm making as well, because I do like to sort of spread the content around of what I'm making. So yeah, hope everything, Badri YNWA. Hope everything is well with the family, mate. Waiting for the next Q&A soon. Waiting for the update. See you there, mate. Right, yeah, no question from Badri. Thanks. Yeah, family's all good, man. Thank you for your continued support and commenting. Long time commenter. And finally, the final question here is Stephen Anaki. Any held? No held comment. So there is the final question from Stephen Anaki, 3500. What's going to be your next new type of experiment on the game? Well, so I am working on a couple of things, and a couple of different video styles, and a couple of different video concepts that I am sort of keeping a bit close to my chest. Now, it does sort of allude to what's your favourite video you've ever made, the question from earlier. There's a couple of videos that I'm working on now that have the potential to be those. And if they sort of pop off and they become my first videos to get 100,000 or so views, I think they will be, because they've been a lot of fun to make so far, and the creative process and sort of thinking behind it and just sort of pottering through and making them have been a joy. I've been sort of working on the background on a couple of them for about a month now, and that's not to say they're great, big and grandiose. Don't get it twisted. I'm not going to release what they are yet, because I don't know if they're going to fully work, and if they don't, then I don't want to sort of have people sort of hanging on waiting for them. But what I will say, one of them is working. It's just a draft. It's a lot of fun. I've done a draft, sort of mini draft thing, 20 teams, created the Premier League, and I'm just going to draft their squads and simulate through and see how that pans out. There's a couple of other things that I'm working on as well that are bigger and some really big sort of video concepts that I'm hoping go down a storm. If they do, they do. If they don't, they don't. But yeah, hopefully. Watch your space. There should be good things coming in the near future. But I'm going to call it there, because I've been recording for quite a while, and I don't want this to be too long of a video, but it probably already is, because I waffle as always. Hope you enjoyed this one. If you've got any questions that you want me answering in future, do keep an eye out for posts and that I'm putting out there, because I want to try and do these semi-regular. I might try and do these monthly or something now I'm not working, because it's nice to stay in tune with the community and stay abreast with what you guys are thinking. But then I suppose I will be streaming as well, being live, and people can ask questions there as well going forward. So, you know, we'll see. But other than that, yeah, hope you enjoyed. And I did mention in the video that I made the other day about Football Manager and the lack of news and stuff like that. So if you've got any questions about what my thoughts are and what I think about all that kind of stuff, and if you've got any questions about that, let me know in the comments down below. I might make another video like this on my thoughts on the musing and my thoughts on the lack of information and concerns about Football Manager 26. But as always, take good care of yourselves, gang, and I'll see you soon.